When Emma agreed to help her sister for just one day, she never imagined that a simple favor would change her life forever. Her sister Lily worked as a nanny for a single father named Daniel, a man she often described as kind but quiet. Lily had fallen sick that morning, and with no one else to fill in, Emma reluctantly agreed to take her place. She had never met Daniel or his little daughter before, but she promised her sister she would handle it just fine. As she drove up the long, tree-lined driveway, Emma's jaw dropped. The house wasn't just big, it was breathtaking. A sprawling mansion with perfectly trimmed gardens, tall glass windows, and a view that looked like something out of a magazine. "This can't be right," she muttered to herself, checking the address twice. But it was. She parked nervously and rang the bell. The door opened, and there he was, Daniel. Tall, well-dressed, and with the kind of calm confidence that made her feel instantly awkward. "You must be Lily's sister," he said with a polite smile. "Come in, please." "Emma, right?" She nodded, trying not to stare at the grand staircase or the chandelier hanging above her head. "Yes, sir. Lily said you needed help just for today." Daniel laughed softly. "You don't have to call me sir. Just Daniel is fine, and thank you for helping out. Emily's in the playroom. She's been waiting all morning." Emma followed him through the marble hallway until they reached a colorful room full of toys. A little girl around 5 years old looked up from her dollhouse and smiled. "You're not Miss Lily," she said. Emma grinned. "No, I'm her sister, Emma. I'm helping out today while she rests. Is that okay?" Emily nodded eagerly and took her hand. "Want to play tea party?" And just like that, Emma's nerves melted away. For the next few hours, they painted, built Lego castles, and even baked cookies together. Daniel occasionally passed by, watching them with quiet amusement. There was something warm and gentle in the way he looked at his daughter, and something about Emma's laughter that made his expression soften. Around lunchtime, Daniel joined them in the kitchen. "You're quite the baker," he said, tasting a cookie. "Better than Lily's attempts, I'll admit," Emma chuckled. "She told me she nearly burned the oven once." He laughed, a deep, genuine sound that caught her off guard. There was an easy chemistry between them, something unspoken but undeniable. After lunch, Emily begged Emma to read her a story. They settled on the couch, and soon the little girl fell asleep in Emma's arms. Daniel appeared quietly, a blanket in his hands. "You have a calming presence," he said softly, covering his daughter. Emma smiled. "She's a sweetheart. You're raising her well." He hesitated, as if wanting to say more. "It's not always easy," he admitted. "Her mother passed away 3 years ago. I've been trying to balance work and family ever since." Emma's heart sank. She could hear the quiet pain in his voice. "That must be hard," she said gently. "It was," Daniel said. "But people like Lily, and now you, help more than you know." The afternoon passed quickly, and soon it was time for Emma to leave. As she gathered her things, Daniel stopped her. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Would you consider staying on for a few more days? Lily mentioned she might need rest for the week." Emma hesitated. She had a part-time job and errands to run, but something inside her told her to say yes. "Sure," she said finally. "I can help for a few days." The next morning she returned. This time Daniel greeted her with coffee and a smile that felt a little warmer than before. Over the next week, Emma became a part of their routine, helping Emily with breakfast, telling bedtime stories, and sharing quiet conversations with Daniel in the evenings. She learned that Daniel wasn't just any single father. He was the owner of a successful tech company. He lived simply despite his wealth, dedicating most of his time to his daughter. He never boasted about his success, and Emma respected that deeply. One evening, after Emily had gone to bed, Daniel invited Emma to sit outside on the patio. The sunset painted the sky in gold and pink. "You've been a wonderful help," he said sincerely. "Emily adores you." "I think I do too." Emma felt her heart race. "Daniel," she began, unsure what to say. He continued, his voice calm but full of meaning. "It's been years since I've met someone who made this house feel alive again. You've brought warmth back into our lives." She looked at him, realizing that beneath his quiet strength was a man who had endured loneliness for too long. "I didn't do anything special," she said softly. "You did more than you know," he replied. Silence lingered between them, comfortable and filled with possibility. As the week came to an end, Emma told him she would need to return to her own work. Emily was heartbroken. "Will you come back?" the little girl asked, tears welling in her eyes. Emma hugged her tightly. "Of course, sweetheart. I'll visit, I promise." Daniel walked her to her car. "I meant what I said, Emma," he told her. "I don't want this to be goodbye." She smiled, looking into his kind, steady eyes. "Then maybe it doesn't have to be." Over the next few months, they stayed in touch. What started as occasional visits turned into dinners, movie nights, and weekend outings. Emma's presence became a source of joy for both father and daughter. One evening, Daniel took her to a quiet restaurant overlooking the city. As the lights shimmered below, he took her hand and said, "You once came into my life by accident, filling in for a single day. But that day became the start of something I never expected, something real." Tears glistened in Emma's eyes. "And to think I almost said no to helping my sister," she whispered. He smiled, slipping a small velvet box onto the table. Maybe fate just knew better. Inside was a delicate ring, simple yet beautiful, just like their story. Emma couldn't hold back her tears. She nodded, unable to speak, and Daniel leaned in to kiss her gently. From that day on, she wasn't just Emily's temporary nanny. She became part of their family. The mansion that had once felt cold and empty now echoed with laughter, love, and the warmth of second chances. And every time Emma looked back on that morning when she nervously walked up to Daniel's door, she smiled. Because sometimes life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Sometimes it surprises you with something extraordinary, right when you least expect it.